NBA Commissioner Adam Silver decided that he was going to respond to Jay-Z on the same network because the CNN show where Jay-Z sat down there, he actually brought up the NBA. It actually brought up how Adam Silver dealt with and handled and didn't agree with how he handled the Donald Sterling situation. Now, of course, if you've been living under a rock and are not familiar with the situation, Donald Sterling had a, let's say, not so good day when his former girlfriend recorded him saying some things in private that were very damaging. So, because of that, he ended up losing his NBA franchise. Now, if you're like me, you know one or two things are true. Either something good's going to happen or something bad is going to happen. We know one or two things are going to go down. That is a common. But when you have a situation where you're a first time commissioner, you got this dumped in your lap. This was a very difficult position to come into. David Stern was just leaving and gone, and here comes Adam Silverslipper. He's wet behind the ears, and when he sat there and did the interview, now he's much more in, you know, um, you know, how should I say, seasoned at the job. Been, doing it for 4 years. It's this kind of a magnitude was far beyond how he felt, more than less how the rest of the world felt. The world wanted blood, they wanted justice. So him being able to remain the owner would have put a bad taste in people's mouths. And I think people like Jay-Z don't understand that. I know what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, Jay-Z was trying to say, you're going to make the other racist people run back in the hole. But here's the thing that Jay-Z don't understand is they can run back in their holes. I mean, this wasn't going to make them come out and be public about their racism. If they're racist people, that's on them. But their racist actions will not be tolerated. He said this in the privacy of his own home. He was having this discussion with a girl he was dating. So if he's having that discussion with a woman he's dating and she makes it public, well, there you go. And that's what happened. She made it public and it became worldwide news. But for the rest of us, when we watched it, we saw it for what it was. And we listened to it. There were very key details that they would allow to be played on television, and the rest you have to really search for. And he said some more juicier details that never was reported and people never spoke on. They just pick and chose the parts that they want to talk about and wanted to get into, like mentioning Magic Johnson and things like that. But there were very more darker details that were damaging and very noteworthy that they left out of it when he spoke about how the black Jews were being treated. So Adam Silver sat down and had this discussion with CNN to discuss why he felt, he understood Jay-Z, but his point was different. And his is coming from first off, they're a private entity, which means that they're gonna do what's best for the NBA. Period. So that was basically telling Jay-Z, shut up. You don't run this over here. We what we do is our business, and we're gonna do what's best for our business. But what he was saying is during his time, like Amazon, Google, and all these things, what David Stern was going through, he didn't, when he's going through, David Stern really barely went through it at all. Now you having Netflix, you're having Amazon Prime, you're having all of these different networks, and they're competing for your slots on your networks. They're competing for it because people are going to watch these network programs. So ESPN is losing. They're looking for new ways and outlets to get to the, people to watch the game. As hence is why they did this YouTube deal. Because now with this YouTube deal, they get to have their games. Most people are on YouTube, or somebody can play PS3 and still watch the game while they playing video games. They want their game to be viewed by more and more people. So they're always looking for a new outlet to try to expand their markets. And in doing so, they're basically admitting that their numbers have been off in this interview. If you listen, you can pay attention and you can see. That's why he says, like, always listen and pay attention because, times are changing. And because times are changing, they're going to do what's ever trendy. So if you don't have a lot of Instagram followers, they're not going to put you in the playoffs. If you're not trending topic or doing something stupid, why are we going to put you in the finals? Kyrie Irving don't have a lot of subscribers, so I don't think a lot of people are going to watch Kyrie Irving. You know, these are the type of things that they're going to be looking at when they determine the teams that they want to allow to participate in the NBA playoffs. Because, if you're thinking this is all competition and the best man wins, it's not. It's not. If it was like that, the Milwaukee Bucks would have probably won a couple of NBA championships in this new millennium. Or let's say Toronto would have probably won one. Who else would have probably won a chip by now? A lot of other teams would have won chips. Portland would have won a chip. It would have been so spread it out and vast, and the field would have been open. And I think they're afraid of what that can do. They don't want small market teams winning NBA championships. That's just it. And you're probably not going to see another small market team win an NBA championship. A lot of people's like, well, Golden State was a small market. Yeah, until they got the right people in charge that used to work in the offices of the NBA and make the All-Star game weekend more fun and jazzed up. And now that they're running the Golden State Warriors as a general manager now, their market value has gone up, you know. Then you got players that are charismatic like Steph Curry, who's hitting long threes from half court. They made it the new style, they made it hip. And now, how do we put LeBron in this? We got to mix LeBron up in it because LeBron is the face of the league right now. So we got to keep throwing his face in commercials. We got to keep LeBron James in your face at all times. Because with him, we're going to do ratings. So we got to give him all these primetime slots and try to keep him in commercials. And it's clear he's the most promoted athlete of all times. But like I've seen him in so much stuff that he shouldn't even have been in, but there he is. Like Michael Jordan never had this kind of exposure, but then again, there was no social media. So you couldn't get exhausted from him that much. Now, as this continues to go forward, I think a few changes will probably be in order. But then again, I'm no expert. But we just got to see how it plays out, you know. So, it's your boy Karceno. I'm out saying peace.